the meeting to order for the Brownsville Public Library System Advisory Board. Thanks everybody for joining us in person and online. We don't actually have the minutes for approval from last meeting today, so we'll just table that for next meeting. And I'm also told that we don't have any citizen comment this evening, so we can jump ahead to our library report.
Yes, first of all, happy pre-holidays. Looking forward to some time off, but most importantly, hopefully everybody's safe. I'd like to report that our utilization has steadily been increasing. We can see people coming in, feeling more comfortable about using our library services. The figures show that. When we initially started, we had like about 400 people coming in a week, both libraries. Now we're averaging about 5,000 a week. So little by little, they're getting here. It's not to our standard pre-COVID, but it's still, again, it's higher than most libraries in South Texas as far as the utilization. So we're getting there. So we're excited about where we're heading. And Brenda will share the other items that we're talking about, but I want to update you. We have successfully bought the lactation pods, one in each building, and they're actually installed already. I invite you to, after the meeting, quickly, right up as you come in, you're going to see it at our next to the cafe where we used to have the cafe, and it's already active for anybody that would like to use, any mom that would like to use it. It's, again, we're already installed them, so looking forward to that. The other thing that we recently added was 2 databases. One is the Hoopla, which is the mobile and library platform for audiobooks, streaming comics, ebooks, movies, music, and TV. That started today. And Freegal music streaming. So it's over 16 million songs streaming. So that's something that hopefully our patrons can use. Obviously, we need to do a good job of advertising it. And we have, and we'll continue to do that. But hopefully that will increase and improve our services on that aspect. An update, we have talked about the crosswalks at the Southmost Library. They're still pending, not on our part. There's been other work orders by the EPW, Engineering Public Works. They're the ones that are going to install it, but other projects have superseded that because of issues. But we have the equipment, we have everything. It's just a matter, we have the location, it's just a matter of them actually doing the work order and actually doing it. But we have established the locations. It's just a matter of them going through with it. They say sometime in the middle of January. Also, the light posts have arrived, and we have there'll be decorative light posts. There'll be 2 at the southmost entrance, and 4 in the back. We already met with the Internal Services Department with the location where they're going to be. All we're waiting is for them to call. I don't know what the company, when you call to dig to see, make sure that we don't run into issues. And so that's moving forward. I'm looking forward to that. I think it would only help establish what the Southmost Library is, and we can put signage. On a sad note, in a way, last meeting we talked about we losing Leo, one of our librarians. Now I would let you know that you've met Chase, and one of our librarians, and Chase is moving on. He's leaving us as of the 16th, right?
Yes.
Although we're sad to see him go, we're happy that he's going to a place where he wants to be, in Minnesota, I believe. So it's a bittersweet. As you know, you've met him before, and he's very excited. And I saw him as the future of the library, but he decided to move on. It's nothing about our work. It's just he just wanted to move on somewhere. So that's all I have for the library report. Any questions?
Not really a question, but just comment. I guess you all had said before it was hard to retain librarians.
It's always been hard. One would say part of the salary, maybe this not, you have to embrace the culture. And so it's a little bit of everything. I think our staff is happy. It's just getting used to the culture of South Texas. But look, again, our librarians right now are from South Texas, so we're hoping that we can retain them, and hopefully we can select replace these two librarians positions, and we were about to interview, and they found other jobs. We already had two candidates to interview, and they found another job. So back to the drawing board. Again, there's many factors to retain, to bring them in, and then to retain them. But hopefully, it's not our culture. It's just they want to move on. So.
And I can speak to that a little bit. At the university, it's the same issue. This is a remote area, so you're not getting people mid-career because they're not going to uproot their families and move cross-country to somewhere that they're not familiar with. So you end up with people either who are really green, who are taking the job because they intend to use it to move on, or you're getting people that are at the end of their career who are using it because they're ready to move on. So it's just kind of one of those scenarios, and it doesn't reflect necessarily on the work environment or the culture. Librarians also tend to move around about every 5 years, just because if you don't have a position to move into within the structure of your organization, then you've got to go somewhere else to get that experience. So it's a struggle that I've seen down here especially, but we ran into it in Indiana as well. So it's just kind of the nature of things.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And so thank you for bringing that question in. So I'm going to add something. And we've installed the new culture where our staff is very empowered. In fact, when Brenda talks about the next two items, it's all staff driven. It's normally in the past, it used to be from top down. Now it's everybody involved with the ideas and we just let them run with it. So I hope that we are getting something good. It's just, as Ms. Shannon said, it's just sometimes they move on for other places for many reasons. So anybody else have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so presentation of library at the Children's Christmas Parade. Yes.
All right, so good evening, everyone. As Juan mentioned, we have some pictures here of our float that was premiered during our Christmas parade last Monday. Even through the rain, staff was so happy to be able to participate. But they themselves put it all together, and the idea came from one of our library aides, and then she just kind of enthused everyone around her, and so got people to participate, and it took them about a week, but they were able to put it all together. Their experience at the parade started with a little bit of rain, but nonetheless, they moved on and participated, and one of the feedbacks that they gave us was that they got very energized by the crowds, because they said as they were driving, first of all, they were very excited to see the dinosaurs and all the kids, and they said that they saw a lot of the parade goers who were throwing little hearts at them and they were chanting library, library. So they got very, very excited and very emotional. And it was overall a great experience for all of them, and they're already thinking about Charles days.
Yeah, and we also use one of our city vehicles, the transit. So it's actually wrapped in the library theme. So that helps.
Yeah.
When we're driving around the city to promote our library and our services.
And our two gentlemen there in the middle picture were the ones that were dressed up as our dinosaurs. So we remember John, he's our makerspace advisor, and then there's Anthony there. On the right of that picture, you'll see Harry, and then on the left is Rizzy, who was the one that came up with the original idea to participate. But, yeah. And then there, of course, there was other people who helped around, but the whole design was to try to go ahead and promote not only the makerspace, but also our dino wall that should hopefully premiere within this upcoming year. And so we wanted to give the crowd a little bit of a taste of what's to come at the library. And that was the focus of why specifically the dinosaurs. And the smaller dinosaur in the little box that's supposed to represent our 3D printers.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Questions on that?
It must have taken a lot of work.
It does.
Appreciate all that you do.
Oh, yeah. They really got some experience going ahead and putting it together, and But they had a lot of fun. They joked about how it took them days to put together and only 20 minutes to take apart once they got back.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, so it was good. And then behind the dinosaurs, I don't know if you can tell in the pictures, but they did have a bookcase to, signify the tradition of the library with our books there as well. And then they had and then they had bubble makers to, of course, entice the kids. And, as they were driving by, after the rain, you could see the bubbles.
Fun.
And they did. They had a lot of fun.
Well, now they have practice for trial days.
Yes. Yes. I suggested to them, let's use the dinosaurs and put a sombrero on them. But we'll see what design they can come up with.
And you know what, now that Brenda's next to me, I would be remiss from not announcing that Brenda has been promoted. When the library was reorganized, I'm the library services director, but there was no assistant director. And so although her name is not assistant director, she is the head library branch manager. So she's been promoted basically she's my assistant. But if there's future branches, she's always going to be the head library branch manager. Well deserved. And again, if I have forgotten in the library report, I'm sorry, Brenda, but it triggered. But again, Brenda is from the Southwest area like me. We have a vision, we share the vision, and I believe that we are leading the staff to better places. So, and again, we try to lead by example and we let them do it. Again, this is an example. I actually was there with them. I have other pictures and the excitement of them, quote unquote, being allowed just to be themselves and being allowed to just run with it. I told them, you do it. I worry about the budget. And that in itself, you can't put price to that and how they did everything themselves. We didn't say anything or do this or do that. The only thing I did is please be safe. Don't fall off the trailer. That's the only thing I did. So that in itself.
Make sure the poles are secure enough
Yeah.
to grab onto. But yeah,
So yeah, so again, congratulations once again, Brenda.
hey, thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so are we ready to move on to presentation on Christmas programming Trail of Lights?
Yes. Okay. So our Trail of Lights is actually premiering tonight, and I believe we have some video there that they can go ahead and play. That one is at our Southmost Library, the one that's playing right now. And so we've set up different props and inflatables, and the purpose is so, of course, our patrons can enjoy the display, take pictures, and then as you go forward and wrap around towards the back, you'll end up in the observatory, and that's where you'll see Santa Claus. And be able to, again, take a picture. The pictures will be also taken by staff, and they'll be uploaded onto our Facebook page within the next couple of days because they do want to put it within a frame, a nice Christmas frame. And at that point, the parents can go on there and download those pictures that the library took. But yeah, they have different themes. It was space you're seeing there. So they got different props and of course, some Star Wars in there. Couldn't forget them. But they also had different animals, just Christmas trees, tradition, trying to go with the woodland type of motif, different presents. And of course, we have a dinosaur again to promote our dino wall. And it was just everything Christmas themed, that would attract our kids' attention.
Did I see a Mandalorian?
Yes, there's also Mandalorian.
And this is to replace for now because of COVID and exterior the pictures with Santa. So, and we want to also recognize the Friends of the Library once again for donating the majority of the money to
Make this
put this thing together. And so, again, this is a different way to keep it safe and all the pictures with Santas have been inside. So this is weather permitted and it's going to be outside. So again, the same theme is going to be at the main branch next Monday.
Yes. Essentially, both
And
trails.
that's the main branch.
Yes, right now that's.
On the right side.
So
Essentially, both trails are up starting today, and they're gonna run from Monday through Thursday from 6 to 8:30, and then Sunday through Wednesday of next week, again from 6 to 8:30. Santa Claus is over at Southmost today with his elves to hand out also presents to the kids. And next Monday, he will be here as well, handing out the presents to the little ones and taking pictures. Yeah, and we have the baby Yoda there also.
Super popular.
Yes.
Have you gotten a lot of people?
As of a little while ago, they sent us some pictures and there was already people in line, so I'm hoping. And anything, Shannon made the comment when she came in that there was very slow. I'm like, I bet you everybody's at Southmost waiting for Santa Claus. That's hoping, right? But hopefully, as they were setting up the trail, they began last week. We already had people stopping and asking what is going on. And so we were already giving them all of the information. So hopefully all of the ones who stopped and asked will return back during this next 2 weeks. And again, so Santa Claus will be there on specific 2 days, but the trail will still go up for the enjoyment of people to go ahead and walk through at their leisure. So if you all are not doing anything after this meeting and you want to, or right outside of the building, please feel free to go enjoy.
And it follows the trail, like the same storybook trail too, as well, or just the little trail here around?
It's just a little trail here around
Yeah, the storybook trail, that's in the actual park and the actual,
the Southmost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, who knows? But right now, we started small, see how that goes.
And how many people usually show up for the pictures with Santa around Christmas time, pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, about 4,000?
Yeah, about 4,000 for the we had it for 4 days, so it's about that much. So about between 500 to 800
A day.
a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Last year we did it as a drive-through and we got close to, I want to say about another 1,000 that showed up between both libraries, or a little over 1,000
Oh, wow.
that still came and joined us for that event.
Did the storybook trail open?
Yes, Rep.
And how did that go?
That went well. I mean, we had some participants go ahead and go over. It was a small crowd, but the trail is going to be permanent and we're going to be changing out the book on a quarterly.
So we can already go and check it out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
As you walk, you see the different pages of the book. And that's in collaboration with the Parks Department. Again, quarterly, we're going to be changing books.
It was really windy in that one picture.
That video was taken on Friday, so yeah. And the one on Southmost was actually taken just last night, I believe. But yeah, it was a bit of a struggle on Friday doing some of those touches and because of the wind blowing everything. And even then we were like, come back, don't go. We had to put some bricks in there to hold some of the stuff down. Yeah.
Any questions?
Good that the kids are going to be outside
Yeah,
and moving around and
Yes.
hopefully a better sense of safety, if you will,
Yeah.
as far as next year, we don't know what's gonna happen, but for now, this is and again, it was a staff's idea, and so I think it was Kayla's idea.
It was a combination of all of them. It was a brainstorming session and this was the final idea that was put together from all of the initial suggestions.
It's great. I love it.
And you're right, that active part, that they're actually walking through it. I mean, it also encourages physical activity,
Yeah.
which is,
Yes.
And lots of photo ops,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yes.
Plus the fact that it's lighted up when people pass through the Sesamo Central, they can see, hey, what's going on out there?
And hopefully they'll make a stop and enjoy the outside and then come inside.
yeah, it reminds me, and I don't know if they still do it in Austin, but they used to have a trail of lights, but you drove through. And then it all ended underneath the big tree at Zilker Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would be nice to have for the city to do maybe, or the Chamber of Commerce, like you were mentioning, a calendar with all these different kids events that are going on throughout the city.
Yeah.
my husband is in the Convention and Visitors Bureau Board, I guess that's what they're called. I'm gonna suggest that they look into that because I was just thinking, we were just talking about that and I had forgotten about this. even though we had discussed it. So I mean, there's so many things that people
Activities.
do. And how do you reach out to people? A lot of times people depend on Facebook.
Yeah, not on social media, but still, I think a lot of people like the print
Yeah.
calendar. Any other comments before we move on?
And also encouraging people who don't live in Brownsville, who could make it a day to come over and get sure that they might not have these sort of events that smaller communities can.
Yeah. Well, especially as folks get together, come from out of town, see grandparents.
And I know Kayla did send out the flyers for this over to our school librarians as well, so they could hopefully distribute with the students. So hopefully all of that promotion helps and bring them out here to both either or library.
And what about press releases, like with the Herald or anything?
There was an interview that was done with Channel 5.2. Yeah, 5.2. They did one last week as well to promote these events.
Did they put them on the community events little thing in the paper?
I'm not sure if they did that portion, but I know that there was a reporter that asked to speak.
And did it.
Mhm.
I know there's free things where organizations submit things to put on the calendar
Okay.
and that appears in the newspaper. And I think that's free.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something to look into because that way you can get some free advertising. I think some people still read paper.
We will
Well, and
do it.
it's published online too.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll look into that.
Great. I'm sure they'll show up to talk to somebody. Once they see the cars. Okay, so we have upcoming board appointments.
Yes. Tomorrow in this room, we're gonna be, the library along with several other boards they're gonna be up for four members reappointments. Obviously, Mr. Pequeño's position, Ms. Shannon, Ms. Sosa, and Ms. Weiss. So I know some of you have submitted your applications, and so we're gonna have, come January, next meeting, we're gonna have four members appointed to the advisory board. So I know that Mr. Pequeño, you have submitted, and I know that Ms. Sosa, you
I'm going to submit mine.
and just make sure that's an advice. Just call city secretary that you're interested.
Yes.
They always wait to the last minute, so even if your application is not submitted, as long as you notify them
Yes.
to that. So I think there's 12
applicants,
applicants.
yeah,
So again,
This point.
thank you for your service, and it's up to the city commission, and we'll update you on the second Monday of January. So basically, that's it.
Yeah, and I have not reapplied. I've taken a board membership elsewhere in the community. So the January meeting will be the pass off
Yeah,
to the new appointees, if there are some, and then elections for the new positions. So that they'll be the chairperson looking at as well.
and that's what I want to talk to you about, Ms. Shannon. If you can gracious with your meeting on January, so you can pass it on and conduct. Obviously, one of the agenda items would be selecting of the officers, the president and the secretary. Keep in mind that the new members cannot be as part of the officers. It has to be either Ms. Knob, or if you're selected, Ms. Sosa, or you, or Ms. Ayala. The new members will not be able to apply because it had to be 1 year serving. So, and again, after the selection, then they'll be going into lots, whether you to cycle into the new, because we went from 9 to 7. Some of them will go for 2 years, and some of them will go for 3 years, right, Manuel? And as you recall from last year, we will do the same thing. But again, just wanted to let you know that tomorrow Brenda will be presenting for those members. And again, it's up to the commissioners to select, and usually they go by district. I think they're going to make sure that everybody is represented.
And I probably will not be available January for the meeting. just letting.
That's fine, but thank you. At all?
No, I'd be traveling.
Okay.
And we usually do it at the beginning of the
Uh,
month, right?
I'm glad for you that you can travel. That's it, guys. That's all that, one, as far as the appointment, so.
Did you have any questions, anyone, about the appointments or the officer roles or anything?
No.
No.
I just want to, I know I'm not the best secretary, but.
You're right.
But you're-
You're
But I was-
in it and you,
All
Yeah.
volunteers.
yeah,
Yes.
volunteer,
So,
and you care and your mom.
Yeah, and hopefully we can have a little, not to disparage in any way our last elections, but hopefully it can be a little bit, I think we were all caught off guard a little bit during
oh,
that meeting.
yes.
Yeah,
So just be prepared and,
but things got a little bit better and I think we're doing okay now. And again, I'm excited. I like the fact that you all are library users and are aware of the library services. So that's what it entails, is that you guys know what we have to offer. So again, I see Mr. Pequeño here. I really hope that you get appointed again, Mr. Pequeño. I think you're a user and Ms. Sosa, obviously. And Shannon, it's nice to work with you.
yes,
I really, and I think your guidance helped a lot in those beginning months, if you know what I mean.
well, COVID,
Yeah.
kind of makes things,
A little bit edgy, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's all new.
yeah.
Well, hopefully, I hope that I know that we'll get a good appointees. And I'm hopeful that some of those applicants were people who served on the task force. Because I thought that was really,
I believe so. I think Ms. Sardi is there,
Sardi's on.
so that I'm looking forward to, again, it's out of our hands.
yeah, well, that's great though, because
Yeah.
it's good to have the new people coming through, even if you do have some members that stay.
Yeah.
For the continuity.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, well, then if there's nothing else, we can adjourn.
Okay.
Wow, it's 6:06.
Yeah. Well, again, we're very cognizant of your time, but we wanted to make sure that we show you the Santa and the parade.
Right.
That's very important. Again, we only discuss the unique thing, but we always, day to day is very important and let's not disregard that. And again, one of the advantages of less people coming in is that we get a chance to interact with our patrons.
Mhm.
And before it was like like an assembly line. So there's a positive to this. And again, we have a high standard. Our utilization now, although it's low, is still high for normal libraries. And again, I would say if you go to Harlingen, they're happy with 200 people coming in the whole week. And so it's just our standards are a little bit high, but I see our staff interacting with our patrons and it's just more personal, if you will. So, day to day. Thank you, guys, and you have a happy holidays. Full holidays.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, you too. Happy Christmas and a new year. If I don't see you before then.
Thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for your volunteer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you,
Yes.
if you were aware of these groups.
Plan to, yes.
I had her in that
Oh,
meeting last time. I was like,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was crazy. I thought I was gonna be here and
Oh, yeah.
I had a student come in at like 4:45.
oh, okay. I was like, what happened? I thought you got in an accident or something.
No, they
Okay.
came in and